Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. Today, we add to the Thai Rubber 101 series, and this is the video for the hooks, right? Assist hooks for Thai Rubber. Now, if you're new to the channel, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. So today, this is something that I have been thinking about for a while. Uh, just how to simplify a tie rubber assist hook, because spacing for the assist hooks is actually kind of a very difficult thing. Now let me tell you this: um, you see how they're spacing it here, this particular one, and I like this particular one because how they do this, it's like really close, okay, as you can see there, and doing it like this increases the hook up ratio. Okay, now let's talk about the hooks. So this is a Chino Dokan Chino PTFE coated hook. So this has coating and it makes it slick so that when the fish bites, it penetrates really fast. It's also thin wired so that it gives you so much penetration. Now remember that Thai rubber fishing is commercial type fishing, and it is designed to catch. Okay. Now in the West, it might be hard to find specialist hooks like that, but we have beak hooks which are everywhere. So you can find beaks from owners or octopus. Okay. So that's what we're gonna use for this. Now, as far as the size is concerned, the smaller the hooks, smaller hooks are actually better. This is like a size 2. And the reason being is that when you are, what's this? And when smaller fish bite on a big hook, they don't get hooked. But smaller fish on a smaller hook would catch, well, the smaller hooks would catch those smaller fish, and it'll also catch the bigger ones. Now, the good thing about these octopus or beak hooks is the fact that they actually have bigger shanks and they're not prone to opening. Now, the one that I showed you by design opens. Okay, so if you're not too good with your drag, what's going to happen is that you will lose fish, okay, because of the hooks opening. So for this one, it's a bit sturdier. Now, shortcut, as I have promised, okay? Now, instead of actually doing something fancy or whatnot, we're going to do a shortcut so that we make this video as succinct as possible. Now, before that, this is 80-pound test braid for fishing. You can use old fishing line from your heavier gear for this particular thing, and this is what I'm doing here. 80 to 100 pounds, even down to 55 if or 50, 60, like that, if you're using like smaller stuff. This particular one, I use this a lot for quite a few sizes. Okay, so it's kind of like an all-arounder. Okay, so now if you can see here, I have it doubled over, and what you want is just to do a what's this called, surgeon's loop or surgeon's knot. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give myself ample space here, and what I want is to actually have this as short as possible because I want this as close to the head as possible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a loop, okay, and again, I'm gonna make sure that I have a long piece for both. Okay, so this is for this particular one, this is actually plenty. Okay, there we go. We're still gonna be using braid for our tying, so we're gonna do a thread base. Okay, and it doesn't matter what color you're using here. I am using something that's contrasting so that you guys can see. Okay, so up to the point. Okay, and for braid, I like using a blade to cut it. Cuts closer and yeah, better. All right, now I'm gonna insert this right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do an overhand knot. So kind of like the Shimano style. Okay, so I'm gonna do a double. All right. I'm gonna adjust this so that it is quite close. And what I want to do is have this as close to that as possible. So I'm gonna adjust this. Okay. There we go. You can see that. Um, there. So that's kind of difficult to there. So you just have to work around it. Okay, now after 2 loops, I'm gonna take my pliers here and pull. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that that knot secures everything. I'm gonna cut with a little bit of the tag sticking out like so. Okay, just insurance. There we go. And that hang right there is just enough, I think. Okay. Now I'm gonna spiral. This is a shortcut. Okay. Now, once you have this tied on, what you could do is actually cut this so that it's easier for you to maneuver things. But make sure that it's long enough so that you have enough tie with. And I'm gonna insert it there and then just go like that so that it's out of the way. And then we can secure. And it's still gonna be very clean, very secure. And as we know, even with our slow jigging, we do this and actually pretty good. Okay, so just like that, and then tie it off. Probably a bit more involved than the usual, but it's clean, as you can see there. Okay, and that is actually solidly attached. Now, what we want to do here is to tie this quite close to that as well. And since we have this whole thing here, okay, it's very easy for us to actually just tie the knot. So what we want is to have this just like that right here. Okay, just like that. So our target is somewhere here. Just make the adjustment. Like that. Tighten it. Cut the tag. Like that. And then be very careful because you could actually hook yourself if you're not careful. Okay, so best thing is for you to take this, flip it over like that. Okay, and then just adjust this so it's out of the way, because what you want is to make that thread base, right? There are a lot of brands that are doing these hooks that have a coating. Okay, so I'm using these just for illustrative purposes, but they don't really serve a purpose other than for visibility. I don't believe that the fish actually get attracted to the hooks that have color. There we go. So take this and then put it there and just jam the hook in so you don't get in trouble. I have hooked myself so many times just from carelessness with these hooks. So be very careful. There you go. That is all she wrote. So you could do this in different sizes if you want. And obviously your hook choice is yours as well. But I have found that this is just the easiest hooks, especially when you're in the West where you can't find like specific hooks for the jigs, tie rubber. Okay, so boom, that's good right there. Now, if the tag ends bother you, obviously you just take a lighter, do that, and good to go. So you have hooks like that, and then we'll change this one right here. For this particular one, you can take it off so it's easier. Okay. And that's just looped on there, as you can see. So this method is a bit more involved, but it's actually easier to size it than the traditional way, which is to tie them or to snell them like that. Okay, so to take it off, just unloop, just like that. And then put this. Now, when you're when you're looping this on, remember that there are two hooks and it has to go through two hooks. Okay, and then like so. And these hooks are offset, meaning the two lengths are not the same. Not the same as slow jigging assist hooks or fast jigging assist hooks for that matter. Okay, so just like that, put it back on and you're back in business. Just like that. It's that easy. Okay. Hold on, let me show you guys exactly. This is okay. So as you can see there, now obviously as far as the loop is concerned, you can make it as short or as long as you want it. Okay, and you can adjust the length according to that. So for me, I found that this distance from the head actually works a lot better, at least for me, because when it swims, it actually kind of swims with the tail. And yeah, it just works, in my experience at least. Now, it could be that in some areas you want something shorter, but never longer. I think this is the longest that you could go. But that's it. Now, I really hope this is something that you learn from and that it's going to prove useful for you guys. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Again, liking, subscribing, and sharing, very, very important to the channel, especially since like YouTube has been kind of weird lately. Alrighty. And I'd like to thank the members for their support. Obviously, if you want to do more for the channel, if you want to support the channel and help it move forward, then go ahead and click that join button. Alrighty, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.